It's Chelsa Messenger with picks and parlays. We're talking college football. Heading to the ACC for Pitt at Georgia Tech. Christmas is right around the corner, and we've got a promo code. The code is ELF, ELF, for 20% off the entire site at picksandparlays.net. Pitt is favored -7. The total is 53.5. The Panthers are 5-5 on the year, 3-6-1 against the number. Meanwhile, Georgia Tech 3-6 straight up and 4-5 against the spread. We've got Craig Trapp joining us to talk about this one. Craig, what jumps out to you when you see these two teams on paper?
Well, this matchup's all about, to me, how does Georgia Tech handle their turnovers? They've been one of those teams that if they control their turnovers and win the turnover battle, they're almost in every game. But that hasn't been the case in too many games this year. Young quarterback, young team at key spots on all the skill position players. Georgia Tech's just been really lax, and those turnovers continue to cost them. But they were decent last week against your NC State Wolfpack, and I think Georgia Tech has a shot here. Remember, the last time I think we saw them, it was against Louisville, and they had pulled a nice upset. I think it was on a Friday night earlier in the season. I think Georgia Tech has something for Pitt here. I'm definitely liking the plus money here with the home underdog here. I think Georgia Tech can avoid turnovers against a pretty good Pitt defense here.
Yeah, I remember watching the Georgia Tech game against Clemson, and they were actually moving the ball pretty well. But as you mentioned, turnovers have been the problem. At one point, their quarterback Sims was leading the nation in interceptions, I believe. So when you say turnovers are a problem, it's been a big problem for them. But they do move the ball pretty well, especially for a team that in the past has run the triple option. So it's taken a couple of years for them to kind of recruit to their new format for their offense. They're not running that anymore. But they have scored some points, and it's definitely a different offense here. Any other things you think bettors should know when it comes to betting on this game?
Well, when you look at Pitt, they're the team, though, that early in the season they were highly ranked. One of the teams that a
Right.
lot of people thought the Pitt team could be the dark horse to maybe even play, because remember that they're taking the top two teams from the ACC. They thought, oh, maybe Pitt's the team that will play Clemson in the second of the ACC championship game, but it hasn't happened. I
Right.
mean, yes, they had an impressive win at Virginia Tech, two back. They beat Florida State. They got trounced by Notre Dame 45-3. And then that Miami game was kind of that 31-19. That was kind of surprising because everybody thought their defense was good. So how can can they get those turnovers for a Georgia Tech team, like we said, that has been prone to have create some turnover or to commit some turnovers? I kind of think Georgia Tech will play it closer to the vest here because Pitt's offense isn't great. And I think that will keep them from turning the ball over and keep the game close. So I like the under, and I like the home underdog here. The home underdog plus the points are going to be my top play, though.
Yeah, earlier on in the season, everybody raved about this Pitt defense and how good they were. Then they played my NC State Wolfpack, and NC State took it to them despite some injuries. I know they had some guys hurt that game. But still, as you mentioned, their offense is quite anemic, averaging 5 yards per play, which ranks 102nd in the country. So the problem is if Pitt gets down, it's hard for them to come back. I'm not saying that they're going to be down by any stretch of imagination, but the problem is their offense is very anemic when it comes to scoring points and getting first downs. So I think if you're getting a touchdown, it's definitely worth a look, especially on the road at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I think, I just believe when you play these primetime games, everybody wants to be on TV for all their girlfriends and moms and aunts and uncles, grandmas and grandpas to see them play. And Georgia Tech already has pulled that big upset against Louisville. At home, it was at Georgia Tech again. I think they do it again here, but I'm going to take the points just in case.
Yeah, and I will say last meeting, Pitt won 20-10 as 9.5-point favorites, but that one probably went under as well if you are looking at a total. But that's going to do it for college football talk here on Picks and Parlays. Great insight from Craig Trapp. As always, Craig, thanks for joining us.